Y&R Spoilers reveal that Aristotle Dumas is a name that is causing a storm in the Genoa City business world, not only because of his mysterious background and outstanding power, but also because of his quiet calculations that are gradually being revealed. Many people thought that Dumas would aim his target at Winters, the corporation that he always used clever words to protect every time he mentioned it. However, when all eyes were on this tycoon's every move with the fear of a public takeover of Winters, Dumas suddenly changed direction, focusing all his attention on Chancellor, a symbol of power, long history, and also the heart of the Abbott and Newman family. In the midst of the financial market being in chaos due to rumors of unprecedented mergers and acquisitions, Amanda Sinclair, Dumas' talented and loyal lawyer, accidentally revealed a shocking secret when talking to her billionaire boss in a separate room. Fans, who were sensitive to even the slightest movements of powerful figures, seized the opportunity to eavesdrop on part of the conversation. Through it, a truth gradually became clear: Dumas was genuinely interested in protecting Winters, with absolutely no intention of taking over the company as people had mistakenly believed. Moreover, Dumas's interest had shifted to Chancellor, a prize that he considered worthy of his ambition and unpaid debts to Victor Newman, his former arch-rival. Victor had long been accustomed to decades-long intellectual battles, where every step was carefully calculated like a move that decided fate. For Victor, Chancellor was not only a powerful corporation but also a symbol of authority, self-esteem and success for Newman Enterprises. But because of that, Dumas's interest in Chancellor made Victor unable to sit still. The feeling of being threatened and the urge to retaliate from past grievances have turned this confrontation into a silent battle that neither side can afford to lose. However, no one but Dumas knows exactly what the boss's next move will be. The meeting between Dumas and Billy Abbott, which had been expected and discussed everywhere, has been repeatedly postponed for no apparent reason. Many people guess that this is just a tactic to stall for time, even a test to verify Billy's patience and reliability. But in fact, the reason behind it is much more complicated. Dumas is dealing with a series of other major business deals on many continents, making it impossible for him to put all his resources into Genoa City overnight. This, on the contrary, has increased the tension and the feeling of passivity for those who are anxiously waiting for the results of the historic deal. Billy Abbott, who had a turbulent past with Chancellor and Newman, has now unexpectedly become a key player in this power game. Billy understands better than anyone that in order to regain his prestige, self-respect, and recognition from his loved ones, he needs to prove his mettle in this battle. When he realizes that Dumas has his eye on Chancellor and is ready to put him in the top leadership position, Billy cannot hide his anxiety and excitement. Standing on the threshold of power, Billy realizes that just one wrong decision can cost him everything, but if he succeeds, he will be the one to change the entire business landscape of Genoa City. It was during these months that Chancellor fell into the most chaotic state since Catherine left. Those in charge of running the company felt the pressure on their shoulders as rumors of the takeover spread throughout the departments. Employees feared for the future, loyal directors were uncertain about their positions, and leaders were constantly fighting to protect their achievements from foreign encroachment. Dumas understood this well and took full advantage of this fear and instability to gradually approach the weakest links of the Chancellor, making attractive offers that no one could refuse. At the same time, Victor Newman did not sit still. He fiercely increased preventive measures, pressed his partners to be more loyal, tightened control over financial activities and internal information. Victor also had people secretly monitor Amanda Sinclair's every move, hoping to find some weakness or loophole that could turn the tables if things went too far. With each passing day, the pressure on both sides grew heavier, and the whole of Genoa City suffocated, waiting for the next move of these two powerful forces. The relationship between Dumas and Billy also became more complicated. At first, Billy only saw Dumas as an opportunity to restore his reputation, even willing to accept becoming a pawn in the hands of this tycoon as long as he kept the top position at Chancellor. But the more Billy interacted, the more he realized that Dumas was not simply a cold investor but also a master strategist who always knew how to turn things in his favor without revealing any weaknesses. Billy began to be cautious and made backup plans for himself, in case Dumas turned his back or things did not go as he expected. Meanwhile, Amanda always played the role of intermediary, trying to protect Dumas' interests while not wanting to hurt old relationships at Winters or Chancellor. Her intelligence and bravery made many admire her, but also raised doubts about Amanda's true loyalty. She became the focus of a series of rumors, the target of surveillance by both Victor and other potential opponents. Outside the underground battles, Genoa City media constantly stirred up public opinion. Every article, every comment on social networks focused on even the smallest movements related to the Chancellor-Dumas deal. Financial analysts continuously made contradictory predictions. Some said that Dumas would not be able to overcome the solid defense system of Victor and his allies. Others believed that once Dumas took action, anything could happen. The chaos of information added to the surprise and drama of the whole story. Everyone realized that, if this deal was successful, the power situation in Genoa City would change forever. Chancellor would no longer belong to the Abbott or Newman families, but would become a tool for Dumas to expand his influence and assert his unique position. Billy, if trusted by Dumas, will face the challenge of maintaining his position in the face of countless traps, and must prove his true mettle and maturity to those who once considered him a failure. While all attention is focused on Chancellor and Dumas, Victor is constantly nurturing his will for revenge. He is willing to do anything to keep his fortune and power. The shadow of an unprecedented power struggle in the history of Genoa City is looming, followed by a series of events that will shake up families, relationships, and even the fates of key figures. The business landscape of Genoa City these days has never been as fiery and multi-layered as it is now. Dumas is like a panther stalking its prey, approaching step by step, manipulating every change step by step, and Chancellor becomes an uncompromising battlefield for all those who thirst for ultimate power. The question is, does Billy have enough mettle to stand firm when the wave of power hits? Will Victor be able to turn the tables before it's too late? And most importantly, when all the masks are removed, who will truly control the fate of Chancellor and the city? With the ending still in limbo, all Genoa City can do is wait and watch a game where no one can be sure of the ultimate winner. Phyllis Summers has long been a controversial figure in Genoa City's business world, a woman with a turbulent past, a strong personality, and who is not afraid to confront anyone on her path to power. After a period of silence, away from fierce internal conflicts, Phyllis has now returned, and her return is not gentle but full of boldness, intelligence, and determination. Unlike previous times, this time Phyllis chose a completely new path, when she proactively approached Aristotle Dumas, the powerful tycoon who is stirring up the financial market and is the one who is secretly manipulating the major fluctuations of Chancellor. Phyllis did not stop at building personal relationships but also knew how to take advantage of all the resources around her. Therefore, she cleverly asked her close friend Amanda Sinclair, who is Dumas's right-hand man, to say a few good words about her in front of this ambitious billionaire. Phyllis's calculation was not random. She understood the motivations behind Dumas's decisions, and she also knew that, amid the constant changes at Chancellor, anyone who seized the opportunity at the right time could become the next powerful figure. Dumas, who was known for his ability to judge people and evaluate talent based on practical results, was quickly impressed by Phyllis's initiative and impressive track record. She had steered many important projects, saved the company from a series of crises, and most importantly, was willing to take risks and dare to think and dare to do, qualities that Dumas especially valued in a future leader. Amanda's willingness to vouch for Phyllis in front of Dumas created an unstoppable chain effect. Dumas began to seriously consider inviting Phyllis to join Chancellor's new leadership team, making her an integral part of his comprehensive restructuring plan. This choice is not only strategic but also demonstrates the acumen of Dumas, who always knows how to take advantage of excellent factors to serve the greater goal. However, this decision also surprised many people and many were skeptical. Chancellor used to be the place where many fierce internal battles were recorded, especially between Phyllis and Billy Abbott, two strong personalities who had experienced many fierce confrontations, even half-hearted cooperation leading to crisis. The prospect of Phyllis and Billy being forced to work together in a new leadership team raised doubts about the ability of these two people to truly cooperate. Can they overcome the conflicts and bad memories of the past to move towards a larger common goal? This question not only made Chancellor consider internally but also sparked a lot of speculation in the media. Because everyone understands that, in order to achieve great success, both Phyllis and Billy must know how to put their personal egos aside, erase the past, and look to the future for the benefit of the company and their own long-term careers. And the amazing thing is, despite their deep conflicts, these two people share the same desire to be recognized, to contribute and leave their mark on Chancellor, one of the most powerful symbols of Genoa City. In the early days of cooperation, it was inevitable that there would be conflicts and tense disagreements. Billy, with his experience and understanding of the complexity and sensitivity of each relationship in the company, had to suppress his ego many times, proactively find ways to listen and adjust his working style to create a harmonious atmosphere. Meanwhile, Phyllis, with her inherent intelligence and sharpness, always knows how to grasp the situation, makes the most of every opportunity to express herself, and at the same time shows more flexibility in coordinating with Billy, avoiding unnecessary conflicts to aim for the big goal. Under Dumas' leadership, a new era is opening for Chancellor. He not only wants to turn the company into a place to accumulate assets but also expects it to be a launching pad for bold, creative and practical ideas. Dumas encourages the spirit of innovation, is willing to empower young leaders, and always promotes healthy competition between departments, creating conditions for outstanding talents like Phyllis and Billy to have the opportunity to assert themselves. In strategic meetings, Phyllis stands out with her groundbreaking proposals, sharp analysis of the market and customers. She does not hesitate to challenge old paths, proposing risky but potential investment projects. Billy, with his long experience in management, often acts as a balancing act, helping the team see the risks and find practical solutions to make those ideas happen. Over time, they form a partnership based on trust, mutual respect, and a shared vision for Chancellor's success. However, behind the halo of success are countless harsh challenges. There are still many conservative forces within Chancellor, dissatisfied with Phyllis's rapid rise. Some major shareholders are concerned that the combination of Billy and Phyllis could bring instability, especially when both have had times of failure and stumble due to impulsive decisions. External competitors, led by Newman, constantly monitor Chancellor's every move, ready to take advantage of any loopholes to weaken the influence of Dumas and the new leadership duo. But in that context, Phyllis shines even more. She not only proves her excellent management ability but also shows her steely fortitude when facing conspiracies and traps from both inside and outside the company. Amanda, as a close advisor, is always there to encourage, support and help Phyllis maintain her composure before difficult decisions. Dumas quietly observed, pleased to see his choice gradually take effect. With each passing day, Chancellor witnessed a dramatic change in both corporate culture and business performance. The combination of Phyllis and Billy, two seemingly irreconcilable personalities, brought new vitality, promoted creativity and outstanding efficiency. Key projects were continuously successful, profits grew steadily, creating confidence for all employees and arousing the desire to conquer new heights for the company. This success not only helped Phyllis and Billy erase all past grudges, but also proved to Genoa City that, when they shared a common goal, all obstacles could be overcome. They were no longer two separate individuals but became an indispensable duo, together guiding Chancellor forward despite the upcoming challenges. Thanks to this harmony, Chancellor under Dumas, Billy, and Phyllis has been, is and will continue to be the center of all major changes, a symbol of innovation and sustainable development. And this story, with all that has happened, is a testament to the truth: no matter how thorny the past is, with enough faith, determination and courage, everything can start over, and every person deserves a second chance to shine on the path they have chosen. Genoa City is once again caught in a tangled web of power intrigue, love affairs intertwined like a spider web, and revenge that never ceases to haunt its powerful characters. At the center of that whirlwind, Billy Abbott, Phyllis Summers, and Sally Spectra, three distinct personalities, three desires to be loved and to assert themselves, have pushed each other into increasingly tense and dramatic situations. What seemed like just a passing emotion is turning into a big play, where everyone is forced to choose their own role, whether they want to or not. It all started with a tragic event that few expected, the kidnapping of Phyllis. The incident not only shocked the entire business community in Genoa City, but also became a cruel test for the seemingly immortal relationship between Phyllis and Billy. Billy, with all his courage and compassion, did not hesitate to risk his life to rescue Phyllis from the kidnappers, once again reminding both of them and those around them of the deep affection that had bound them together through many years of turmoil. However, the ending was not a romantic reunion as many people expected, but a silent and bitter breakup. Phyllis, who was strong and resilient, could not overcome the psychological trauma after the kidnapping incident. Long sleepless nights, invisible panic gradually etched on her face and eyes, a deep hurt that only those involved could truly understand. But the most painful thing was not the lingering fear, but the feeling of abandonment when Billy, the one who had just saved her from death, quickly and coldly fired her from the company, as if everything between them was just numbers, rational decisions with no place for the heart. Billy's appointment of Sally Spectra, a new but equally ambitious name, to Phyllis's position at the company was nothing short of a slap in the face to her self-esteem. Phyllis's anger was not only due to her professional betrayal, but also the pain of seeing Billy so coldly abandon their shared past. She quietly packed away her memories, but instead of sinking into despair, Phyllis vowed to come back stronger, at any cost. Whether it was revenge, or simply to assert herself in a new position where she would no longer be looked down upon. But just as the light of hope was about to shine, Phyllis faced another shock. Billy suddenly left Abbott Communications, plunging into the power play at Chancellor. This decision not only left Phyllis feeling left behind, but also raised questions about Billy's true motives. Was it all just a move to get back at Victor Newman, who had been a thorn in both their sides, or was there a deeper personal ambition hidden? Insecurity and frustration quietly crept into Phyllis's mind, mixed with the desire to prove herself, making her even more determined on the path to regaining her position. It was at this precarious moment that Aristotle Dumas appeared as a mysterious factor, disrupting all the calculations of the Genoa City tycoons. Dumas, with his sharp eyes and rare strategic thinking, not only silently manipulated the market but also gradually became the master of the game at Chancellor, where each management position could change the fate of many people. When Dumas decides to take over Chancellor and reassigns old faces, including Phyllis and Billy, to key positions in the company, things seem to be pushed to the limit of endurance, testing both the faith and pride of those involved. Phyllis, who has just recovered from her personal trauma, now faces a new challenge. Can she take advantage of the opportunity to rise up, or continue to slide into the past? Her new position at Chancellor gives her unprecedented power, a free space to create and prove her ability, but it also means having to face Billy himself, the man she once loved and hated. Billy, on the other side, must learn to balance his ambition for power with his personal feelings. The emergence of Sally, whom he had trusted to replace Phyllis, now became an indispensable part of the Chancellor's new machine, making the three-way relationship more complicated and tense than ever. Billy could not hide his guilt, wanting to make amends with Phyllis, but also could not ignore the potential that Sally brought to his career. In the midst of this relentless cycle, Phyllis sometimes finds herself changing. She is no longer simply seeking revenge, but is gradually moving towards a worthy place in the new power system, where all past wounds are gradually healed by personal achievements and recognition from even those who were once enemies. Billy, on the other hand, is always torn between reason and emotion, between the desire to take revenge on Victor Newman and the desire to control his own destiny. Sally, although younger, has learned early on the value of perseverance, courage and the ability to adapt to the most unexpected storms. When Aristotle Dumas takes over as Chancellor and reorganizes the leadership, the characters who were once attached to Abbott must now learn to adapt, accept change or be swept away in the new wave of power. The relationship between Billy and the two red-haired women, Phyllis and Sally, enters a completely new phase, where everyone must face themselves to decide whether to continue to be rivals, teammates or even true companions on the road to success.